Hey guys, it's Danny. Wow, I haven't filmed a video in what feels like forever and I'm seriously going through withdrawal right now. I need to start working, but you know how it is. Sometimes you have a lot of things all at once, bad timing. I have my family issues that I need to attend to, and also my pet bird got a little sick a couple of days ago, but everything is okay. There was no need for meds. It was a one-time thing. I'm still trying to make sure that he eats right and everything is okay, but yeah, this just kind of took over my life. But no more. It is time to focus on orchids. I'm missing this like crazy right now. Today, we're going to take a look at some new orchids. I actually made a swap with another orchid YouTuber. Her name is Bumblebee, and I'll link you to her channel down below. I sent her a few orchids, not sure if she will make a video. If she will, you'll see there. And she sent me a few orchids back. And I do want to talk about these orchids because they do have a history. They have a reason why I wanted them. And I can actually show you some of my orchids which are related to them. So without further ado, let's get to the orchids. First orchid is a Gongora Galeata. This is a dark variety, and I was actually super happy Bumblebee offered to swap this orchid because I was on the market for a Gongora. If you guys remember the old days, I used to have one, not a Galeata. I actually don't remember. I don't remember the variety I had. I'll link you to some videos down below. That's the good thing with having a YouTube channel. You have your whole entire archive to browse through and remember stuff, so I don't need to take notes. Anyway, I had a Gongora once. It did pretty okay in my balcony days, but then we moved here. I potted it in Ceramis, and she initially did okay, but slowly and surely she kind of withered off without presenting any type of illness necessarily. Furthermore, roots were pretty okay on the orchid, but the orchid herself was not okay. She had a lot of spotting, and I thought, oh, spider mites. But maybe the spider mites were not the issue. So let me give you the background to how I think I know what I did wrong with it. I was listening to a webinar on the American Orchid Society. By the way, you can actually become a member if you pay $40 per year. I'm not sure how it is for USA residents. I'm not a resident, so I only have access to some stuff and I pay $40. So I don't know if there is a different price. Anyway, so in one of their webinars, which you can only listen to if you remember, they were talking about the Coryanthes. It's also called the bucket orchid. I'm gonna look for a Wikipedia article to show you on the screen right now. I will link you down below to a video from somebody here on YouTube who had it in bloom, and they filmed some bees pollinating it. It's a wonderful video, check it down below. It's a unique orchid which I want to have, and I'm just waiting for the right moment. Anyway, so they were saying about the Coryanthes in that webinar that in cultivation it prefers a really acidic medium. Otherwise it doesn't do so good. Slowly and surely it kind of withers off, or it may. Anyway, the experts were saying that you want an acidic medium, such as sphagnum moss, let's say, because in nature this orchid is usually found in association with a particular type of ants, which produce a particular type of acid. So the environment around the orchid is rather acidic in comparison to other orchids. So in my mind it was like, hold up. Is Coryanthes related to Stanhopea? Oh, why yes it is. And are Stanhopeas pretty much in the same group as the Gongoras? Oh, yes they are. So I researched, and lo and behold, on the Orchid Species website, which somehow I missed this article, it says that many Gongora orchids are actually found in association with ants in nature. Therefore, I drew the conclusion that these orchids actually do prefer a more acidic medium, more acidic than others. And the only medium that I know which can provide a super acidic environment is sphagnum moss. And before you say, oh, you can prepare the water, no, there is no need with sphagnum moss. I'm already filming the video in which I talk about media in general, and I already measured the pHs with a new pH meter, which is a lot more accurate. So you'll be surprised exactly how acidic sphagnum moss is. Well, what do you know? My Stanhopea was not in sphagnum moss. It was in something that was either neutral, either alkaline, if you consider the leca as well, which I used in a mixture. So slowly and surely, my Gongora kind of depleted itself. I believe it could not actually absorb enough nutrients as it would in a slightly acidic medium. So there's a whole discussion about each type of orchid and what acidity it prefers. I have some theories. As you might know, there aren't many articles saying, hey, Cattleyas like neutral pHs, or this orchid needs a slightly acidic pH. There are certain species which are known to prefer one of the two, but for each and every orchid, there aren't articles. So I kind of drew a logical assumption here, which we're going to talk about in that video when I get around to film it. Anyway, long story short, I believe my Gongora needs sphagnum moss to be able to thrive. And I was super happy that Bumblebee offered to swap her Gongora. And there she is. She has a lovely root system and quite a few new growths here. Now I will go and unpot it. I do see some spotting on some pseudobulbs, maybe nutrient deficiencies, who knows, because I see she's in bark, and according to my measurements, bark is really not as acidic as sphagnum moss. So I'm gonna put her in sphagnum moss this time, and we're gonna see how she does. But the orchid herself did very, very well on transport. I watered her yesterday, and there she is, lo and behold. I cannot wait to grow Gongoras again. If you guys remember, I did manage to bloom my Gongora, and it's not that I lost her super fast. It was a very gradual process, and usually when you're dealing with these very gradual process, there's something in the orchid's environment which is slowly making sure it's getting depleted. If it were to be a disease, it would have acted faster. If it were to be, I don't know, a very, very bad cultural thing, again, it would have acted faster. So I did draw the conclusion that what I had not okay in my environment was the pH, and we will see if by using pure sphagnum moss with this orchid, no addition, no altering needed, we'll see if she thrives. Next up, we have an Insignia Orchid. Some of you might say, another one? Oh yes, another one. Well, I mentioned to Bumblebee that I'm looking for the purpurea, or that Orchid which has a really nice magenta lip. The reason for that is that I believe it has a bit of a different fragrance. I'm going to show you my Insignias because there are quite a few, multiple Insignias, none of which I'm sure it's a purpurea. So I asked her, is it a purpurea? And she said she didn't know. And I was like, it's okay, I have too many of them. But she sent it anyway. So here we have another one. She came bare rooted, and I put her in a jar to hydrate the root system just to see which root I need to cut, which one I can leave. I peeled off a few of these sheets, and I do have a new growth here, so this orchid will be potted pretty soon, now that I can see which root I need to cut. As for the variety, we're not sure. With the Orchids, there appears to be quite a lot of variety. Some of them have a beautiful white lip. I don't have that one. If this one is one of those with white lips, you know, I'm happy. There's also an Alba variety, which as far as my knowledge goes, I don't have, but considering the mislabeled orchids I dealt with lately, who knows? Who knows at this point? Who knows what orchids I have? So only one of my Orchids actually bloomed, and you'll have a video on it down below. So I'm very excited to see what this one might be. Can you imagine when they will all bloom? It's just gonna be such a surprise. And if it's a double, well, you know what happens to doubles. They're gonna find new homes with you guys when I'm gonna be making my giveaways. There's no current giveaway at the moment, but rest assured I will make a video and talk about it when I will make it. So let's look at the Orchids that I have. So first off, the one that I always had in bloom, it is not the purple lip variety. It has quite a veiny lip, and it's beautiful and I like it, but I would just like to have the other varieties as well. So as much as I do enjoy and like this variety, I do want to have the experience of that rose chocolate scent as well. And that one, I think Maria has a purpurea variety. That one apparently smells like that, so I'm looking for that variety. It is a very vigorous Insignia, and I'm doing my due diligence in removing sheets. Sometimes I do slack, but she's always grown beautiful pseudobulbs along the years. I have an issue with some dieback, but I'll try to fix that. This orchid is a very thirsty orchid, and semi-hydro sometimes becomes a little bit too dry for it, so we'll see what to do about that. But anyway, over the years, I never actually had issues with this particular Insignia. It's very vigorous, and it's kind of my core Insignia, let's say. This one is my oldest Orchid, which I purchased from Schroeder a gazillion years ago, but this one had a very bad fungal disease at some point, which in the meantime it got cured, but it's been set back quite a lot with the move and everything, but it's growing pretty vigorous. This one I purchased it as Anachilium or something like that, Atropurpureum. This is the older name, or one of the older names these orchids had. Is it the purpurea variety? I don't know, it could be. It never bloomed. I'm hoping this new growth will bloom, but who knows. This one has a lot of sentimental value for me, but I don't know the variety. This one supposedly is the Insignia Orchid variety Rosea, or did I say Purpurea? It might actually be the variety Rosea that I'm looking for. Purpurea might be something else. Anyway, the one with the purple lip. So I purchased this one, I think more than a year ago, and it's the flimsiest Orchidra that I have. Knowing the experience with that one and my old one, this one is rather flimsy. So even if it might be the one that I'm looking for, I really don't like how fragile this is. As you can see, I potted her in bark and moss. Maybe that will help a little bit with her overall state. I don't really want to stress it further with trying to adapt it to Leca if it's gonna be quite a long process. So I just transferred her back. She's growing new roots, but she's just so incredibly slow in comparison to the other two and just so finicky. And on top of that, what if I put all of this effort into making her healthy again? She blooms and she's not the Purpurea, you know? So I'm still looking for a proper Purpurea, which is 100% a Purpurea. But you know what? I love all of them, and they will all find a home in the end if they're not gonna live with me. Next up, we have two Tolumia no IDs, which I'm so incredibly happy about because, as you might know, I kind of lost my entire Tolumia collection, and slowly but surely I am rebuilding it. And she actually asked me what other orchids I might be interested in if the Cordillera doesn't really interest me, and I said, well, the only things I'm actively searching at the moment are some terrestrials, maybe actually Habenaria, I think I said, which I had and I lost, and some Tolumias, which I had and I lost. Other than that, you know, I can do without, I can wait. And behold, she sends me two Tolumias which appear to be rather new. This one looks like a typical Tolumia hybrid. I also have a flower spike here, which is being kept straight with a little stick. And I do have some buds. I hope they will make it. I hydrated the orchids. As you can see, they got a little dehydrated on the way here. So I hydrated them. I will switch them to the setup that I currently use with my Tolumias. Check the link down below to learn more about it. So hopefully we're gonna see this one in bloom, and this one, check this out. This does not look like a proper typical Tolumia hybrid. It might be. You know what it looks like? I had the Corona, remember? She used to have tinier, more fleshy leaves rather than these ones. Could it be the Corona? Really, I don't know. But again, I'm so happy about them. I did not know I'm gonna receive these ones because, as I was saying, I don't really have a Tolumia collection. I have two which are very nice looking, they're healthy, and two recovering from last year. Remember when I got that no ID bundle? Well, two of them didn't make it, two of them are recovering. One doesn't look particularly great, and the other one I think she will be okay. So overall, I have two Tolumias which are nice and healthy, and two which are recovering. So these really warm my heart, and I'm so happy about them. This one bloomed, so it is mature, even though it's so tiny. Cannot wait. I'm so happy about these ones. Let me show you my Tolumias actually. And here are my two Tolumias which are actually healthy and actively growing at the moment. This is the Genting Volcano, one that I wanted for a long time. It's a recent purchase, and this is the, well, it's Oncidium, it's an old name. Let's say Tolumnia Tsiku Charlotte. It should be a coppery looking one. Purchased it from Orchids Deluxe. They're both doing really great, and you'll have more links in the description talking about this setup. And let me show you the sickly ones. These are the two no ID sickly ones, the ones that I could save. These were all rootless, not even divisions, rootless fans really, that I purchased at a discount last year in a bundle. So the reason they're in pots is that they don't actually have a nice root system, not just yet, and in pots actually have more chances to maintain them more moist. They're actually sitting in some decorative containers as well. As you've seen, the other two Tolumias that I have are in baskets with moss, but those baskets get dry pretty fast, which is what I want with Tolumias, but those Tolumias have a good root system. They're not dehydrated. These ones are. So I decided to keep them temporarily in some pots. I also mixed in some bark, a little bit of bark, because this is not a net pot. It's not gonna get dry all that fast, so I don't want a full sphagnum moss setup necessarily. So I'm gonna keep them here until they develop more roots, and when we do have a nice root system, transfer them to that setup most probably. Right now though, they were kind of getting dehydrated in the net pots, and I couldn't really keep up with watering. I don't trust myself to actually actually keep them hydrated enough. So for now, they are in these pots. And that's the full extent of my collection, which, I'm working on. I have a lot of space for Tolumias, and these orchids are just so rewarding. They have beautifully colored flowers. They grow pretty fast and they bloom at a small or rather young age. You don't need a whole shelf for them. And I actually do have a video on them. Check it down below. You'll see the beautiful Tolumias that I used to have. And I'll link it down below to how I lost them as well, just so you know the full story. So yeah, I'm just thrilled about Tolumias. Oh, really happy, really. Thank you so much, Bumblebee. And the last orchid is a came from her Dendrobium parishii, which just fell off when she was repotting. So she sent it to me. Maybe I want to do a video on propagation, and you know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start filming it and I will observe the evolution and then make a full video out of this. What should you do if one of the canes snaps off out of your Dendrobium? How do you actually propagate it? I'm just gonna do a video about that, and then I'm gonna give it away because I do already have a parishii, which is a wonderful plant. So I don't need to, I will give it away, and I'm happy I have the opportunity to actually make this video. And well, I do have some other plants that Bumblebee sent. This is the Mother of Thousand. Yeah, Mother of Thousands. I know this plant. I don't have it on my terrace, but I've seen it. It grows all year round here. You can actually grow succulents all year round here if you shade them in the summertime. In the wintertime, they do great. So I will actually pot this on my terrace and she will do great. I know this plant though. I know that she creates tiny little plantlets on the edges of the leaves. And if you're not careful, you're gonna be invaded by them. It's okay. I have a big terrace which is bare, kind of. So I am really happy for these little plants as well, which I will pot. And I do believe they're gonna feel like home here in this climate. And that's about it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hope you've enjoyed it. I am actually working on more serious, let's say, tutorials. It's just that it was such a bad timing lately. I miss making videos though so much. Everything is okay and stable now. We can work this week. And with that said, you know the drill. Like or dislike this video below. Subscribe to my channel for, well, more regular videos, that's for sure. And if you really enjoy my channel and would like to support it, do consider visiting the merch store down below. With that said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.